What's up, everyone? Welcome. My name is Empty Major. This is the first episode of my new series where we check out elite dangerous ships if they're realistic and if they can exist. Today we're going to take a look at the Anaconda. To start off with, it's an amazing ship and really large and an iconic ship. And we're going to talk about everything that doesn't really get addressed in the actual game. In this video, we'll take a look at the size comparisons to other things, what it would look like in real life, the mass, and of course what it is to walk right next to it with certain mods that we can use in Unreal Engine. All the information and stuff that I use will be in the description down below, so you guys can check it out for yourselves. Let's first talk about the mass and size of this thing. This thing is 155 meters long and 62 meters wide. It is 32 meters tall. Now this thing has 3 pilot seats, which is the crew for the ship, 3 people, in a 155 meter long ship that is absolutely crazy, and it has a hull mass of 400 tons, which is absolutely insane. Now, why is that insane? It is insane based on the fact that the Abrams tank, the M1 Abrams tank, with, just to talk about, a crew with 4 people, but I understand it's different times, so whatever, has a length of about 9 meters by 3 by 2, and it has a weight of 67.5 tons. 67.5 tons in a combat vehicle. Now, I understand that it's a tank, and it has probably more armor and more whatever in a compact version, and obviously it's gonna be weighing a lot of tons. But for an Anaconda to weigh 400 tons is absolutely crazy. Even with, chairs and shit inside, it would weigh more than that. Now, let me give you another example. Here we have an Anaconda sitting on top of an aircraft carrier. Very well performed manner. And you might say, won't the aircraft carrier sink? Well, no. If the Anaconda is actually 400 tons, it won't sink at all. It might even become more buoyant. But okay, so no. But seriously though, the Anaconda weighs 400 tons. The aircraft carrier under it weighs approximately 97 metric tons. 97,000 metric tons. The sheer, and I understand that the Anaconda has different materials, and it's a different time, different age, whatever. But it doesn't make any sense. Why would it be only 400 tons? This is something I never understood. And how can something of this size be 400 fucking tons? Even if you look at the Beluga liner, which is like 950 tons, that doesn't make any sense either. But here it clearly says on the blueprints that the Anaconda is 400 tons in hull mass. Now the crate is 320 tons in hull mass, and it's 1/3 of the size of the Anaconda, meaning that there's something really wrong with either the crate or the Anaconda. But enough about that. The Anaconda is really big, and as we can see here in this little illustration, it is about the size of a fucking football stadium or soccer. Now let's do some math and see how heavy this thing would actually be in real life if it used aluminum or carbon. So the tallness of this thing, or the length of this thing, is 155 meters, and the width is 62 meters, and the height is 32 meters, which makes in total of 307,520 cubic meters. And that is all cramped up in 400 tons. Now I can't really see how heavy this thing would actually be because we don't know what it's made of in the game. We don't know exactly what materials are used to create the Anaconda, but assuming it's aluminum, 1 cubic meter would weigh about 2.7 tons. 1 cubic meter would weigh 2.7 tons. This thing weighs 400 tons. Now, if you were to look at the 307,520 cubic meters that it is, because of the dimensions that we have, you would have a whopping 800,029,996 cubic tons. Now that's a lot more than 400 tons. That's a lot more than what they tell us that it weighs. Now if you look at one of the lightest materials known to man, carbon, it would weigh about 129,000 0.008 cubic tons, or about 0.4 metric tons per cubic meter. Yes, this thing is ridiculously underweight in the game. Ridiculously. Thinking that it weighs 400 tons is absolutely insane. Unless it's all hollow in the inside, but we would only assume that it's not. Obviously, it has a lot more stuff inside than just heavy metal and stuff like that. You know, it has engines and compartments and whatever, but we don't know what the exact insides are yet. We will try to uncover that after this little video, because I first want to take a look around the Anaconda itself and show you guys how absolutely massive it is if you were to be walking right next to it. So now we are inside the Unreal Engine game, and we're going to take a look at the Anaconda, which is right there. Now I'll link this game in the description. Now this game it's basically a guy made this little walking around thing in Unreal Engine 4, where he just posted all the models and sprites of Elite Dangerous, and most of them. You can take a look around these ships and feel absolutely small amongst these pretty large vessels. Now I am going in first person because the size is hard to gauge, and especially if you're playing in third person. But here we have the Anaconda, or the Anaconda, or whatever the fuck you want to pronounce it like. But the Anaconda is a very large vessel, a almost frigate-like ship, one of the biggest ships in the game. And here we can see it very clearly what it would look like if you're walking under it. And as you can see, even the Explorer, which is right there, is extremely large, and the Anaconda is no different. It is an absolute huge ship. We can, if I'm right, climb on top. There we go. And now we're walking on top of the ship. We can see a multitude of other ships, which I will later talk about, obviously, in these videos. And yeah, so here we have the Anaconda, and we can take a look at the large hard points that are right here. 2 large on the deck, 2 mediums on the sides, which should be somewhere more in front, I think right there. And on the bottom it has the rest of the hard points. Here is the cockpit, and as you can see, the scale does make a lot of sense, because the chair will be right here and there and there, the 3 chairs for the ship. Now the issue that I would have with a ship like this is, as you can see, it's absolutely huge, and the mass is very low. This ship has a crew of 3, which doesn't make any sense if you think about just only keeping this thing clean. God damn, it is such a work. But yeah, this is the Conda if you're walking around. Now let's go back to the video and take a look at what else we can find. Big thanks to the creator of that Unreal Engine demo. It's amazing. It gives a really good insight on the ships of Elite Dangerous, and you can you can walk right next to it. You can download it in the description down below. And so yeah, let's move on with the video. Let's talk about the internals of the Anaconda, because I could only assume that there will be really good internals on the ship. And I'm not talking about internals as in the classes or the FSDs or whatever. I'm talking about what would it look like from the inside. Now, unfortunately, I can't find a lot on this. I've looked everywhere, but there's nothing that specifies the insides of the ship, and no map, no nothing. We see a lot of corridors on the side of the ship, and a lot of places where you could move and go around, and so it does show that the ship has a very big inside, and probably lots of rooms and medical places, and maybe even complete entertainment rooms, and who knows whatever is in this thing. Yeah, you can make it as crazy as you want. It's a huge ship. It's really big, and I would only assume that it has about as much stuff as a ship from this time, a Navy ship would have inside, which is everything that a human needs to survive, and maybe even more, because, you know, there's space enough. So yes, I would assume though that because of the low tonnage, that the inside does look a little meh, and probably very unfinished and stuff like that, purely based on the fact that the tonnage is so low. And I know that Frontier isn't really keen on that, and they can do whatever the fuck they want on the inside. And honestly, I think that that's what they will do if they ever show an inside when you have space lags and you can walk around and stuff like that. And probably this ship's gonna look as amazing as the other, which would just add to my confusion, about the tonnage. But I guess every ship in Elite Dangerous is very light, if you think about it. Except the smaller ones. I think the really small ones, like as you can see, the sidewinder is still pretty big, so it's not really makes a lot of sense, but a little bit more, I guess. But that's all I can do for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video still. If you guys want me to do a new ship in the next video of this series, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll do that ship. I'll check out your comments, and I'll do the ship that you guys want me to do, and that's how we'll continue this whole series on your guys' request on what kind of ship I have to do next, and look at next, and take down next, and rant about, and look on how realistic it is in the future. And if you guys want me to add some more stuff to these videos, I didn't want to make them too long, I didn't want to make them short. I'm kind of still figuring out the perfect way to do this, but if you guys want to add me stuff like re-entry, how this ship would be with gravity and all that type of stuff, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see what I can fit in, and we'll just take a look at all these ships. So if you guys enjoyed, please leave a like down below, and if you guys want to support me on Patreon, you can during the link. Don't forget to check out the Dudes Unreal Engine game, and I mean, it's really fun to do. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.